Hi everybody, I'm Reed Cowan coming to you live from the west side of the valley at Station Casino Red Rock Resort, where now the doors are about to open. They're going to set the scene here for just a second. You can see so many people outside standing, employees who are so excited to welcome people back. And they are getting an attaboy and an attagirl from their boss, the general manager here. Listen.
Back to Red Rock Resort and Station Casinos.
That is what the sound of turning a page is here in our valley. Excitement here at Red Rock Casino. And you know what? The excitement is also where my friend Jim Snyder is standing by live. Jim, not only big properties like this, but also properties that attract a lot of locals excited too tonight.
Absolutely, Reed. A lot of the gambling that goes on in this town goes on in neighborhood bars like the Pint here at Wallapai in Charleston, just down the road from where you are. And we actually have a trumpeter to herald the return of gaming here. 78 days they've been waiting to turn these machines on. Let her rip. And we have some people waiting to do it. This is Nick Starr, along with his mom Sandy, the proprietor of this place. And Nick, you've got the machine ready to go. A gambler ready to go. We're back! And with that, we have the first 20 slid into the machine. You've been waiting for this, yeah?
Yes, I have.
He's been waiting.
Yes.
And Nick has too, because this is a big part of your business.
Yes, it is. We're back, baby.
How big is this night for you?
This is huge. It's harder than the first time we opened. Our town, our staff, our employees, everybody came together, and we're going to survive. We're going to do good in business. Hopefully, we'll be back.
All right. He's got every other machine spaced out here. People socially distanced in the background. It's a safe place to come. And bars all over town, like I said, Reed, are doing these same things. And a lot of locals come here instead of going to the bigger casinos like you are. But it is a big night, and it's excited to see this important part of the fabric of our town coming back tonight. Much different situation here in the Valley tonight. A peaceful march calling for change and an end to police brutality.
Hundreds gathered outside Las Vegas' City Hall for the March for Peace. News 3's Tiffany Lane was there as Metro officers had an open dialogue with that group.
Well, Marie and Jim, demonstrators asked Metro officers several questions, including how to stop tactics used by police in the Vegas Valley over the last few nights as they marched peacefully, demanding justice for the killing of George Floyd.
As the Black Lives Matter March for Peace got larger outside Las Vegas City Hall, the questions increased too. Some demonstrators asking about the type of training officers receive so that they don't overreact in tense situations. Others wanted to know why tear gas was used during protests over the last few nights in Las Vegas. After the discussion, a few members of Metro marched with the group for several blocks. While protesters say this is a step in the right direction, they still want to see more done.
A 3-strike or 5-strike rule for any officer who's been misconduct, you know what I mean? Or, just to make sure background checks on officers that aren't, attached to any races, like, movements and stuff for the safety of the people.
We are very familiar with the one bad apple doesn't ruin the bunch type reasoning. And so when one police officer does something that we find despicable or alarming, we should be careful not to condemn all police officers as bad actors. However, that same logic has to be transmitted to people who peacefully protest.
Following the march, a small group met with Metro officers to discuss the changes the department has made over the last few years. Today, Metro told the group they're listening and hoping to learn.
We got a chance to meet with some of the folks today. We were talking to them, and then they said, hey, if you really mean what you say, take a walk around the block with us. So we're part of this community too. And if this is what it takes for us to calm this community and make progress, we're willing to do that.
They reached out to us and they're saying, hey, we want to end this. Whatever we can do, we want to help you. And that's what I appreciate more than anything. I was supposed to go down there for a 30-minute meeting, and I was talking to them for 4 hours. And one of the cops got emotional, and she apologized to me and said, whatever we are doing wrong, I apologize. And that meant a lot.
Never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country.
Well, before that interview, having worked in New Orleans, I would have told anyone that Drew Brees is probably the most beloved person in the state of Louisiana. But Now, after implying that he still doesn't like how Colin Kaepernick protested even after George Floyd's death, he's receiving a lot of blowback, most notably teammate Malcolm Jenkins, who released this heartfelt message after.
Our communities are under siege, and we need help. And what you're telling us is, don't ask for help that way. Ask for a different way. I can't listen to it when you ask that way. We're done asking, Drew. And people who share your sentiments, who express those and push them throughout the world, the airways, are the problem. And it's unfortunate because I considered you a friend. I looked up to you. You're somebody who I had a great deal of respect for. But sometimes you should shut the up.
Arrest in our streets does reveal how deep the divide has become between some communities and the police.
News 3's Gabby Howard had a conversation with the local police union about how Metro officers are dealing with all the anger and frustration being directed toward law enforcement officers.
Well, the wave of protests nationwide is revealing communities with a deep distrust for police officers. So we wanted to know what this time has been like for those officers and how they're processing it.
They get it. They sympathize.
Steve Grammis is the president of the Las Vegas Police Protective Association, also known as the LVPPA. Their job is to, quote, protect those who protect others.
We're in a profession where you bear the brunt for the wrongdoings of others.
Grammis oversees more than 3,500 Metro officers. He calls the video showing George Floyd's death disturbing. And when it comes to the surge of Black Lives Matter protests happening all over,
they get it and they understand it. And again, when you look at our community, I think our department, our sheriff, we do a lot of interaction. The sheriff has a multicultural council.
Grammis says while it is his job to look out for the best interest of his officers, he knows when to draw the line.
If you come to me asking for help when you do this, there's a good chance you're going to have me throwing you out of a second-story window. You do this because you are going to destroy the badge.
Many protesters are not only demanding justice for George Floyd, they're also calling for systemic change to address the concerns of Black Americans being brutalized by police.
But the training our people get, I think, is the top in the country. We have people that try and model what we do here.
Metro has come a long way.
Todd Story with the ACLU of Nevada referenced a patterns and practice complaint that they submitted to the DOJ in 2011.
Metropolitan Las Vegas police were singling out and had a higher incident of males, unarmed, who were Black, being killed at the hands of police officers.
Todd says Metro identified deficiencies and made some changes, but he says there's still much to do.
I think everyone that takes the oath and wears the badge wants to just do good in the world, and sprinkled in amongst them are people that do things wrong.
And even amidst all the tension, Grammis says most officers really care about their communities.
There's a lot of cops nowadays that really want to know why and figure out how you can get to a better place.